Well, I just got done attending Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, and that was a lot of fun. I actually got to help out in the Atlas Outdoors booth, which was even more fun because I got to work with Bill and Deb and Ricky here. And yeah, it was fun. Got to talk to lots of people and show them the trailers. And so now we're having them on the show to talk about the trailers some more and just showcase what the different options are with each trailer and, just kind of put those things out there and let people see what they've got to offer. So without further ado, I'm going to have Ricky take a minute to introduce himself and talk a little bit about his family and how they purchased Atlas Outdoors and all of that. So, Ricky, you're on.
Thank you.
Pressure.
What an intro. Well, as you mentioned, I'm Ricky Symington with Atlas Outdoors, and thank you guys for having us on here. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. So, so I guess just a quick overview of me. So I came in from outside the overlanding world. I used to work in the construction rental equipment industry for 11 years. Actually, my family and I worked with my parents up in North Dakota. And I was just, I was doing parts for them. And then my dad, Steve, was the manager, and my mom, Kim. If you have any Office fans out there, I called her the assistant to the regional manager.
Nice.
So yeah, we worked together there for 11 years. And then it came to a point where it was time to close that. It was kind of a weird, we were kind of on an island up in North Dakota. So the equipment was kind of, it would come in during the summer and then it would leave during the winter, and then you have to get it all back in the spring. It was kind of weird, but that's North Dakota for you. So we decided that let's find something different to do. So the owner of the company was actually a nationwide company, brought us down to Las Vegas and said, hey, do you want to do something with us here with like the corporate, like the bigger, they had different jobs for us and offerings, and we just really didn't want to live in Las Vegas. So no offense to the Vegas people out there, but it just wasn't for us. And so while we were there, we had one of the people there that we were talking to said, well, another idea is we've got there's a camper manufacturer just up the road in St. George that you might be interested. They're looking for partners, and it might be an opportunity for you guys. And so we ended up going out there and it was like, we looked at the trailer like, this is really cool. And I'm not used to working with stuff that's cool. I was fuel pump to a guy for a boom lift, and I was so this is I like to say that I just got really lucky. So we liked the idea, and we ended up becoming partners here, my parents and I. And so we moved down to St. George, and then it was kind of rough right away with the partner thing. I guess the partners didn't really know each other, so it was like all trying to work together, and it was a struggle. It ended up not going that well, unfortunately, with the partners. And that's just, I mean, even coming in, we knew that partners can be a struggle, and we tried to make it work. And eventually the partners moved on in different directions. And so now we are here and blessed to have Atlas Outdoors as our family-owned company now. So it's kind of a crazy story to get to where we've gotten. And it's just, we're just looking forward to, like, we're really excited now. It's really fun. The people like you guys that we get to talk to all the time, it's a really good community, and it's been a wild ride, and it still is. And we know that it's going to be, but it's a fun community. We're loving it.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys initially started out with partners, and then what did you buy them out and just kind of say, hey, this isn't really working out, we're just going to do our own thing here?
Right. Yep. So we ended up buying them out, and and then we were kind of back at not like, what do we do next? And then then we started working with X-Grid campers for a while. That's where we met Bill and Deb with Cottywomple. And we were like, wow, these guys are good people. And that's kind of the thing that we've it seems like our customers and like people like you, and it seems like everybody we meet in this realm, in this world here, it's just like such good, like genuine people. And so, yeah, and Bill and Deb are just perfect examples of that. And so, yeah, we struck up a relationship, and they loved towing our trailers. Thankfully, we're so happy they did. And so then they said, you know what, can we just like always tow these trailers? Can we work for you? And we're like, well, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, now they're working for us with marketing and sales, R&D. They're running all over the country. And sometimes I get concerned because I feel like they're working harder now and they even say they're working harder now than they were before. And this is supposed to be a retirement type, more fun job. But look
at the perks they have. I mean, look at their background right now. They're doing okay.
They're hating life. They're hating.
I mean, yeah. Look behind us, right?
Yeah.
Terrible. And it looks awful behind that Gladiator too, you know? I mean,
yeah.
Gosh. Looks awesome.
Yeah, they hang in there. They're good.
They're
sports.
hanging in there. Yeah. All right, Bill and Deb, you guys are on. Why don't you tell us how you got into helping out Atlas Outdoors and working with them?
You can tell that story.
You're up.
Nope.
All right. So, Ricky talked about them starting to work with X-Grid, and at that time we had been pulling trailers for X-Grid for a couple years at that point, and Lauren had reached out to us and wanted us to come out west and pick up a demo model from Ricky and Steve and Kim and bring it back to the Eastern United States. That also gave us the opportunity to spend some time in it and get some exposure for the trailer and promote that X-Grid was then selling them. Immediately, we fell in love with the trailer. Deb was just head over heels with it, and everything about it. So that was our first taste of it. Then a couple months later, we had the opportunity to take it out and spend some more time on the Georgia Adventure Trail. On the way back, as we were pulling into X-Grid, a lot of people who follow the channel know that we were hit in the side by a car. There's video on our channel that shows that. But it totaled a Volvo, and we literally dropped the pin out of it that was broken off of our truck, hooked it to another Jeep, and drove away with it. It was then that I knew that if we were to ever buy a trailer or be really endorsing a single trailer, that this was going to be the one. So over the course of the year, that happened in March or April.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the year, we really got to know Rick and Kim and Steve and even all the guys at the shop. And we couldn't ask for better people to align ourselves with. Mm-hmm. And we knew that, in the event that we ever wanted to change jobs, and we were kind of looking at that point, kind of a pre-retirement thing, that this was the place we wanted to be. And as luck would have it, just, right things, right place, right time, it all fell together, and here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you both, so Deb, you're a 911 dispatcher, and Bill, you're a flight medic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Correct.
Normally by trade. And so you guys, those are very high stress, high tempo jobs. And I'm sure this is a very nice welcome change from that.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So.
Yeah, it definitely is. Deb's completely given up dispatching. She's hung her head set up, so to speak. And I'm still flying. I'm just enough to keep my credentials. And so every other month or so, I'll go fly a 24-hour shift and just so I can keep my flight suit and my helmet. So,
that's awesome.
Other than that, it's been great. Yeah, and just like Ricky said, we have been working harder, but we've been working really hard to promote a brand that we truly believe in, that we love, and we know that everybody else that's going to get their hands on it is going to do the same thing. So once we get things rolling, and I think the the ball is definitely rolling now. The ride is going to get much easier.
Mhm.
I agree. And I just seeing those trailers myself in person the past weekend, and just seeing other people's reactions to them when they walked through them and looked at how they were made. And, you know, you guys even have a piece of the trailer that got into the accident there, and it's barely got even a dent through the wall at all. I don't know if you have that available, Ricky, or anything, but it's pretty intact still. It was pretty amazing to see that. The composite floors, the well-built structure of everything just really seems to hold up to different scenarios. And that's one thing that I think both I and the people that came and looked at the trailers were very impressed with, from what I could tell. So I think that's pretty awesome. And do you think that these trailers basically speak for themselves, or what has been your experience, Ricky, with people once they actually see the trailer or the trailers now?
Yeah. So people looking at the trailers, it's a lot of, they're always, and we even had a customer in again yesterday and just walked in off the street and just blown away because it's just a different kind of trailer that people haven't really seen before. So it's just like, it's almost like its own separate, it's still a camper trailer. But a lot of the basic, the campers that most people have seen they're just not built to do what this trailer's built to do. So they're built to drive down the highway till they find a campground and then just pull in and park.
Mm-hmm.
These trailers are built to drive down a highway and then a gravel road and then a trail and then maybe not much of anything and go over just about everything and get shaken. And when it gets there, it still needs to be, it needs to do this for years and years. So to hold up to that kind of beating that the people are going to put them through, they just have to be built different than regular campers are. And people can tell as soon as they look at it, like, whoa, what is this? So we have our customers that when they fill up with fuel, we hear all the time our customers filling up with fuel. Everybody comes running over saying, hey, what's this? Can I look inside? Because it's just, people can tell it's just different. So yeah, it's just built higher quality. And that's the initial, that's the main focus of the trailer, is just to be a high quality trailer that when you get to where you're going, you're good. You don't need to worry about things falling apart or shelves falling off the walls or whatever it is. Because I've heard some horror stories with customers that have come in from different campers that have things like that, where it just doesn't need to be a concern. You need to, you want to go out, and whether you want to get off grid or go to a campground, you can do that with this trailer. The difference is that it'll just last forever. So that's kind of our primary focus.
Well, that's a good focus to have. How about you, Bill? What do you think makes this trailer stand out from an off-road perspective compared to other trailers you've driven or seen or pulled?
Well, given the different trailers we've pulled, and we've pulled some very good trailers, and we've also pulled some trailers that didn't hold up.
Right.
This one here with the 2x5 frame, the air ride suspension, the Cruise Master hitch, everything is built. It's overbuilt. It is built to take anything that anybody that wants to take it off road can do. Pretty much anywhere you want to go with your vehicle, you can pull this trailer. We've been in situations with the Gladiator, and it has some height to it. It has a little bit of ground clearance, and I have rubbed the bumper on the Gladiator and not ever touched the bottom of the trailer. So, you got plenty of ground clearance, plenty of off-road ability, and it'll take whatever I want to give it. I am a firm believer that whatever I wanted to put this trailer through, it's going to stand it. So that to me is the durability. It's going to last through me, and it's probably going to last through my kids and the grandkids. So durability is my biggest thing. Deb's going to tell you something different, and hers is definitely going to be comfort.
That's why I'm going to move over to Deb now, and she's going to tell me what she likes about the trailer.
Yes, ma'am.
stand
Go,
up,
Deb.
stand up inside, and you don't have to lay down and put your pants on anymore. That's
a
one of
good
my
one.
big thing is just, after you hit 55 and go on beyond that, it is tough to lay down and put your pants on. So I like to be able to stand up. I like to be able to have a cassette toilet inside of the camper so I don't have to go outside where there's animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the kitchen and the amount of storage that I keep adding to it for Steve to put on this camper. That's the best thing. Anything you come up with, I just take it back to Steve, and then whoop, there it is. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tony got to see the trailer firsthand. We had a little bit of weather when we were in Arkansas. It actually got pretty cold, and we put the walls up onto the awning, and I think we had 8 people in there
Yeah,
around the fire pit.
I think 10 because we adopted those 2
Yeah,
kids that from
we did adopt some kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
they were cold.
it was really great. So just I can't say anything bad about the trailer or negative whatsoever. Everything is positive.
Yeah, I agree with Feral Backpacker. That kitchen setup is the bomb. I love that kitchen. It's so
Awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah, and
Nice.
the cool thing about that kitchen is it's on both models.
Yeah.
It's not
Yes.
just one.
So let's take a minute here. I'm going to share some photos, and Ricky, if you don't mind, will you walk us through each photo as I put them up on the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's the first photo. What are we looking at here?
This is the inside of the new trailer that we introduced. And this is just this spring, we brought in a new trailer called the AppalachianX. And we can get into a fight later about how that's pronounced, but
I was waiting.
I knew I'm getting the look from some of you.
So hold on a minute, Ricky. While you're talking about the AppalachianX, let's do a little poll. So everybody who's on, however you pronounce, whether it's Appalachian or Appalachian, give us a little bit of input. We're going to do an informal poll here. So if you say Appalachian, type out L-A-Y. If you say it Appalachian, type out L-A-T-C-H. And while you go through these photos, maybe we'll get some input and end this war over Appalachian versus Appalachian.
Well, if you're from Kentucky, it's Appalachian.
I like it.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, Ricky.
Damn.
Go ahead, Ricky.
All right, so this is the interior of the trailer. It's a bit narrower. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a bit narrower with the wheels or the walls inside the wheel wells. And this idea came from Bill and Deb actually. So this is just what you're looking at with the interior with the bed laid out. That shelf on the wall. So this is a prototype model. And this is the trailer that Bill and Deb are camping in right now. And it's been actually, we've been so impressed with the production team that they put out this prototype and it's trail ready. And there was very few, like they ran into a couple little snags when they built this trailer. But almost nothing. Like it was I was so surprised. I just kept saying, sure, you're going to build a prototype that fast and have it ready for more expo. And they did. And it was great. But one of the things that you're looking at, the shelf on the back wall, that has been that was one of the things like everybody that, the first four or five people that slept in there all smacked their head on that shelf because it sticks out a little bit too far. So these are like little tweaks we're making as we're camping in it and everything. So, but it's really it's been pretty impressive to see as it rolled off the line. It really has been just ready to go. So Bill and Deb are the only ones that didn't hit their heads on it, and so we were trying to figure out if they just get up a different way or if we're just not as smart as they are. But
I'm not really sure what the answer to that is.
Lot of
You're
experience.
just not as seasoned at Overland.
yeah.
There you go.
I mean, if you spend enough time getting up inside of a wedge rooftop tent, or even a cantilever rooftop tent, you learn to watch your head pretty quick. So that may be what it is.
All.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
I'm used to the TetonX. The roof's
Well,
up,
you've got
no shelf
all
above
the
it.
room in the world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is the outside of the Appalachian. And so, yeah, so this is with the kitchen stretched out and everything. One of the things we had to do, as you can see, or maybe don't, I guess to the outside observer, maybe don't notice, the kitchen, the way it's pulled out, it's actually flipped around. So the stove's on the other side now. And that was because when we were designing it, we wanted to keep it as similar to the TetonX as we could, because the concept of the TetonX is awesome. We wanted to make it a little lighter, a little narrower. So to do that, we were keeping the pop top, the roof, and even most of the chassis is the same. And so when they tried to make the kitchen the same, as they were pulling it out, as he was drawing it up, we were kind of looking at it like, how are you going to get to the sink? Because the wheel's in the way now. So we flipped it around, and I was kind of skeptical about that idea, but it's actually we've had some people asking, can you do this for the Teton now? So now we have another debate of like, which way is better? Because it actually is really nice. You can take your food out of the fridge and put it right on that slide off counter. And then you have the kitchen on the back. And then you have the prep work. If you have the cabinet on the back, it has a little prep space there too. That's all what you're seeing on the outside here is just those slides that pull out the side. Of course, this is a campsite, and we're lucky in Utah. This is a campsite that's like 30 minutes away from our shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are very lucky. It's some beautiful stuff.
Something I want to point out that I really like on this one is that where the stove and everything is over there, the fender over the wheel right there is like an extension to the kitchen.
Yeah.
It is.
And I really like that part right there.
Okay. If you want to see the pros at work, you got to listen to this. So what Bill and Deb do, they leave their drinks on the fender, and then they go to bed. And they reach out the window and grab their drinks off the fender.
That's freaking amazing.
I saw it happen. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, these are the pros.
They are pros. They already told you that. All right, let's see. What are we looking at here?
Ooh.
So this is back on the inside of the trailer. And this is the front. And so we put storage in the front. With the smaller trailer, storage is kind of at a premium. And so I could not believe when this came off the line how much storage that actually is. So
Crazy.
especially on the left and right side, those go 2 feet back. And so I had my big duffel bag the first night I was camping in it. And I was like, what do I do with this? And then I looked at that cupboard and I'm like, nah, it's not going to fit in there, right? And it fit so nicely in there. It just slid right in with room to spare. So that's the storage on the front, and it's pretty impressive for the small area inside the trailer. That is awesome to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do we got going on here?
So this was a camp out that we did with our customers, and this was the first time we had done it. And Bill and Deb helped us a ton with this. So what we wanted to do is just kind of show our appreciation and just say, hey, like, have our customers all get together, and if you want to come, you can come. And what we did was everybody met in St. George, and then we drove out to this the Gold Butte area, which is about an hour and a half from here. And then we found this great spot. Bill and Deb were down there, and this spot was taken. So they had another spot reserved. And then when we got down there, they're like, all right, we're calling an audible. This spot is much better. And it was so cool. It was a perfect size for us to all circle the wagons in there. And we had a great weekend. It was really fun. We had Bill and Deb led a trail ride, and we went down to see different rock formations and stuff. And we were chatting back and forth on the radios during the day, and had like different questions they were asking. It was a lot of fun. And then we'd sit around the campfire at night, and then we did what you're seeing here is actually everybody circled up, and we did a a few different like discussions, workshop type things. We talked about maintenance on your trailer, and Bill talked about overlanding, different tips for overlanding with a trailer, which was they found that super helpful. And so, yeah, we were just, and then, I mean, you start with like kind of a rundown and kind of go over it. And then you just, people ask questions, and they were really grateful for that too. And we had we had a potluck, and it's all on YouTube. Bill and Deb made a YouTube video of it, and it's really good video. I was there and I enjoyed watching it. So, yeah,
well,
you can totally check that out.
I was there and loved it anyway.
So one thing that I noticed in this photo is there's a lot of white trailers, and then there's 2 trailers that are different colors. So what do you guys offer now that you didn't offer before? Let's talk about that.
So that's because Bill and Deb are special. So
well,
yes, they are.
So these are our demos for 2025. The one you're seeing straight across is the TetonX, and with Bill and Deb's new wrap on their Jeep, on their Gladiator, off to the far left, you can see the Gladiator there, but everybody probably knows what it looks like at this point. We wanted to match it, and that was kind of their idea too. We're going to be towing it around on their channel, so let's match the colors. So that was the first wrap that we've done, and we wrapped the trailer, and then it was an interesting process because we ran into things that we didn't expect, and maybe we should have expected it, but we just kind of like, yeah, let's order the wrap. It's gonna be cool. And then we were thinking, well, the white top is gonna look kind of strange. So then we got the darker colored top, which is that we've really loved that topper.
Yeah,
but then all the things
now.
Yeah. So, but then all the other things like the little shower port is white. And so, okay, does that matter, or should we make it black and things like that? So it was interesting, but now we've done a wrap. And so we're offering that to other customers. We've had people before ask if they can get like an all black wrap and things like that. So we can do it now. So it was a kind of a cool way to try it out, to see if we can do it, see what it takes, see what we're going to run into. But it also looks really cool with their Gladiator. And the same with that AppalachianX, we just reversed it. So it's black with the orange stripe instead. But yeah, it was cool to try it out. So now we have the wrap option we can offer our customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. They all look really sharp, even with the different options.
Just so we know where we're at on our little contest going, it is Lay has 6 and Latch has 5.
All right.
Oh, yes. You better start pumping, Bill.
The people are right. The people know.
They haven't all spoke. Calm down.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, are the people that are saying Lay from the Appalachian Mountains, or are they not?
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
Depends on where you're from.
Yeah.
I guess we have about six poll takers that are from the west side.
Throwing signs.
So here's a good shot. It's the two of them side by side.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And they're the same length and the same height, correct? But the only difference is the 20 inches of width.
Correct.
As far as
they're the same length. Yeah, and they're actually the same width at the wheelbase is the same width. It's just the actual the walls are 20 inches narrower, 10 inches on each side.
And how much does that lighten it up?
Go ahead, Bill.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, so the walls are just, instead of outside of the wheel wells, they're moved inside of the wheel wells. And as far as weight goes, the TetonX started 3,200 pounds dry, and we were able to get the Appalachian down to 2,600 pounds dry. So this is going to fit really well for Arla and her Wrangler and Broncos, even Subaru Outbacks with a 3,500 pound tow capacity can pull that AppalachianX with ease. So sorry, didn't mean to cut you off here, Rick.
That's okay.
Rick
Just send me a gray one and I'll run it around for you. Okay, thanks. With some red accents. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So this looks like more of the camp out thing here.
Yeah. So now we're shifting back to the TetonX. And yeah, this was just kind of a picture of the the exterior of this is a more traditional looking TetonX with the white walls. And so this is the one that actually got hit when Bill and Deb were pulling it. So the crew in the shop actually like he said, they did a really good job of just they had to do some basic repair to it, some slight tweaks to it, and replace that cracked wall, that piece that you were talking about, Misty, that had the crack in the wall. There was some changes they had to make, but it's back on the road, and we had it actually at the while you guys were all at Save in Florida, we were up in Salt Lake City that same weekend with this one, and it was the show model at that show. So.
And so when you say crack in the wall, I just want to clarify that it was probably like a 7-inch little ding. That
I think I have the piece here somewhere. We had it at the show, and so I'm not sure where it made it to, but it might be in Travis's trailer. But it was just and Bill he probably can explain it because he was there better than I can. But it was, and I'm thinking that the chassis actually took most of the hit, which is like thankfully, and then the propane tank. Well, the way Bill says it is the propane tank tried to go through the wall on the front of the trailer, and it wasn't successful. So I'll see if I can grab that piece for you really fast here.
Yeah, if you can find it, that would be cool to show.
While you grab that, when we were hit, like I said, there's a video on the channel, but the car kind of glanced off of our tire and hit right into the corner of the trailer. And when it did, it pushed the front tongue in just a little bit, and then it hit the propane tank. And right there, where Ricky's holding up, is where it tried to push the propane tank through the wall. It squirted it out like a tongue for a grape, and it was laying on the ground, going around and around in circles when we got stopped. But we had to fix the tongue, and then one of the rock rails on the other side, and then they had to push the corner out 1/8 of an inch, replace that wall, and Crash lives. We've officially named the trailer Crash now, and that is one of the show and R&D models.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but when you Ricky will flip that around, it didn't even damage the backside. So it's got a little bit of a concave there, but that closed cell foam, it just compressed the foam, and that's all it did. It took all the energy. It did exactly what it was supposed to.
That's the thing that was the most impressive to me, seeing that at the show. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I saw the pictures of the car that hit that too, and it did not fare well at all.
It did not. It didn't make it.
No.
Yeah. That's crazy.
All right, Ricky, you're up again. What are we looking at?
So this is the new storage options we have for 2025, and this made waves in the TetonX world. We had our customers. I'm getting emails and calls from people that say, "Hey, can you add that to my trailer?" And we can, and we have actually already. One of the customers brought their trailer. One of the customers that came to the camp out brought their trailer in before that and just left it there for a week to have those put on, because the storage in the rear, it's a game changer. Especially like I said before, with the smaller trailer, storage is it's at a premium. And these boxes, it's not only that it's just storage, it's really awesome storage. So Steve, this was Steve's idea. My dad, he's the boss, and he's kind of the head of the shop back there, and he gets these ideas, and then it's kind of funny. Him and our engineer work perfectly together, because he gets something in his head and he doesn't know how to get it out of his head onto paper so that it can be built. And so that's what Ben, our engineer, does. He can put it, he can draw it up, and then they put their heads together and say, well, we'd like it to open this way, and then they actually came up with the idea to have the one on the right there that you see on the passenger side, that door folds down instead of out. So it turns into a table. And then you have an L-shaped prep area there by the kitchen. And that is I mean, that is amazing too. I mean, just to have flat, somewhat like prep area, that is another thing that's just like you just always need more of at camp. So yeah, this was actually at the camp out. We had the food spread out on it one day as we were serving. So and you can see it has a coffee maker in it and a microwave. So
yeah. If you want to
those
do
don't come standard. We just did that for demo purposes, and I think secretly Bill and Deb like it, but they don't like to admit it. So they Rob Miller with Revere Overland he's the microwave guy, and
Yeah,
so
well, I will tell you right now,
microwave, but they use it all the time.
I love the coffee pot. The
coffee pot's great.
We love the coffee pot. But the microwave was a joke, because if anybody has watched Revere Overland, they know Rob does not cook anything. He microwaves everything. Anything he has the microwave. So he was going to take one of the trailers, one of the TetonX's out for a few days, and I said, well, we got to put a microwave in it for Rob. So of course Steve and them made it happen, and then we ended up putting one in the orange and black one. So that has turned into, we use Rob's microwave quite often. Kim likes to fix Rob dogs in it instead of hot dogs. They're Rob dogs.
I will tell you, because I camped with Bill and Deb after they switched everything over to the Appalachian, and we were a little lost without that coffee maker the next day.
Yeah, that was that took a little bit of time. Profit Biker, to answer that question real quick, yes, we absolutely can put a rear tent on top of the new storage boxes. We actually have one or two customers, Ricky, now that's asking for that.
We just quoted one today, yeah. It's one of those things where so when we quoted it, it was something we had thought of, and we thought, oh, we should be able to do that, and we hadn't rolled it out as an option. But then somebody asked, and it's always one of those things where if somebody asks, somebody else is going to ask too. So let's just figure out if we can do it or not, and let's get. And so it was funny. Steve and Ben were back here at the back of this demo model. They were looking at it, and they went back and forth for about 15 minutes, and they came back up and said, "Yep, we can do it." So they figured out how it needs to be done, and we were able to quote it out just like that. So we certainly can do it, and it's nice to have the best of both worlds kind of thing.
Well, I think Deb actually kind of prepared your dad and everybody and the engineer for that, because I know she's made a lot of recommendations and alterations to the Teton behind you, and I call them Deb alts, right? So but he's always calling. I've been there, and she's like, hey, why don't we do this? I don't like that, or this could work better this way, or we need a plug here. And I can tell that your team is really willing to listen to the customer, especially people that are doing it most of the time or all of the time, like Bill and Deb are, and they're willing to work with them and at least try to entertain the idea to see if that can be accommodated. I mean, I know everything's within reason, right? We can't just go and completely redo everything, but I think that from what I've seen, your company is very good about listening to the customer and saying, let's see if we can make that work for you. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, that's kind of like, that is for sure something that we'd like to focus on. We want our customers to have this trailer exactly the way they want it. And if it's more than one person, then and especially like little tweaks that need to be made. If there's just a pain point where, hey, the outlet would be better if it was over here instead of over here. Things like that are just like, we look at it and say, okay, let's do that, and let's do it like right now. And so it's not something where we're just set on building this trailer for the next 2 years, and then we'll have a new model rollout. It's always evolving, it's always changing, and we're always trying to make it better. Just as we go, which it does slow down production sometimes, but it's worth it because the change that it makes, and we hear that from our customers too. But yeah, Deb is definitely the leader of the changes. So, Steve goes into a cold sweat every time he sees Deb's that number come up on his phone. Oh no, what now? But they're good ideas though, and that's one of the reasons that we have them on the team is because they're out there, they're using it, and they're like, well, and they're seeing like things that could be helpful, and we want those that if they're going to be helpful to them, they'll be helpful to our customers. And so yeah, we just wanted to make it a better experience for the customer. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Is to have a good experience while you're out on the trail. So yeah, and honestly, that's where a lot of our cool changes have come from, is just from listening to customers' ideas. And if they have a MOLLE panel that they want on the front, or if they want a outlet in the cabinet on the other side and put Starlink in, or just like things like that, it's just all things that have come up from customer requests. And so when you listen to those, you get really good ideas, and the trailer just gets better. And that's the goal. That's the goal, is to keep improving it. So
absolutely. Hey, Bill, if you wouldn't mind, can you walk through the base price of each one of the trailers and what comes with that base model off the bat for each one?
Yes. So one of the really nice things about the Teton is, at a base model, they're pretty much, they're ready to go. The only thing you're missing with a base model is a refrigerator. And we've had so many people that have said, well, I've got my own refrigerator, I don't need one. So, and we have two different models that you can choose from if you want one. But short of a refrigerator, you can buy these, either one, the Teton or the Appalachian, at a base price and have everything you need to take it and go on an incredible adventure with it. You know, some of the things that come standard with it is the Cruisemaster 35, the articulating hitch, the dual wheel arc jockey wheel. And a lot of people will not think that's a big deal. But when you have to turn this trailer around on a trail that's been washed out, and you've got those two wheels as opposed to one, and before I could get the truck turned around, Deb already had the trailer turned around by herself. That's a pretty big deal. You know, you've got the closed frame, which is all sealed up. It's 2x5 box tube. Your air ride suspension all comes standard with it. Full kitchen, 20,000 BTU per burner, Mountaineer Camp Chef stove. That's bigger. Just one burner is bigger than most other stoves on trailers. So to me, that's a pretty cool option. 11-pound propane tanks, you get two of those standard. It comes with all Victron electronics. It comes with a 3,000 watt inverter, and that's all part of the standard options. The Teton comes with a queen bed. Of course, you can option that to a king bed. You can put up to 7 people in one of the Teton trailers. So pretty cool. Comes standard with 33-inch tires. You can upgrade those to 35, and that includes your spare. Max fan for ventilation, and you can upgrade that to air conditioning, to the 12-volt Dometic air conditioning. And the base price on the Teton, ready to go, short of the refrigerator, is $56,995. So to have one that's ready to just go pick up and you know, when you get it, you can go, is pretty good. When we did the Appalachian, we set 3 criteria. And it was, we wanted it narrower, we wanted it lighter, and we wanted it a little bit less expensive to fit within the price range of where that size trailer might be, and whether that be the Expedition Voyager, the Mission Summit, some of the other ones that are that inside the wheel sub 16-foot size adventure trailer. And it comes with all the great same great amenity standard that the Teton does, but we were able to do that at $48,000. So we were able to knock about $9,000 off of the retail price. We were able to trim about 600 pounds off and narrow it up by 20 inches. So we were able to hit, in just a few short months, all of those criteria and bring a prototype to More Expo that is adventure ready. We're in it right now.
So, Deb, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
You've stayed in the TetonX, and now you've been in the AppalachianX for
Mhm.
about about a
Good
week.
job.
I'm trying. I'm from Florida. We say Appalachian.
It's 6-6, by the way. We're
There
tied.
you go.
Okay, so maybe I'll
We're
say
tied.
Can I vote? Did you count my vote?
No, we're not letting you go.
You don't get a
We
vote.
got 2 votes. We got 2 votes
So-
here.
Oh yeah.
You've been in
Let's
the new
not
one.
count our votes.
You've been in the new one about a week. Has the narrower kind of footprint inside, has that been an issue? Has it really affected you guys much, or is it doable?
It really hasn't. It really hasn't, because most of the time, when you're doing this, you're outside anyway.
Mhm.
And the bed is, I think it's only like 5 inches difference. So it's really not that much of a difference. When you have the top up on it, you still get the same height. And the floor, when you go in the door, you still have plenty of room to put a cassette toilet in at night. You're still able to get to it. Me and Bill can both stand up in it at the same time. And before going to bed, we had 5 people in it, the other day. Well,
Yes, we
4
did.
and a dog. Yeah, it was 4 and a dog. So yeah, we still had room for a couple more people.
It was very comfortable.
Yeah, as far as storage, we only lost 1 box off of the back. So it really wasn't a huge difference in that much storage. And the second box that I had back there, honestly, I just kept filling it up just to put stuff in it. So it wasn't like really stuff I needed. It was just like, oh, there's an empty spot. I have
Snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Extra snacks
Yeah.
for Arla.
Snacks.
So it's
my
like
snack
I
drawer.
really don't need 3 different coffee pots, but I had 3 different coffee pots in the teton because
Multiple backups.
I
Multiple backups.
storage boxes. So really coming down from that size to this one wasn't a huge difference like I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's good. And you feel do you feel a big difference with pulling it with the Gladiator compared to the Teton, Bill?
Yes, funny you should mention that. Coming out, we brought the Teton out from Kentucky, and we got 11 miles to a gallon with the Gladiator, which is actually pretty
Way
good
better than
compared
I
to
thought
what we
before.
were getting with the V6. With the V6, we were getting between 8.5 and 9. So the Hemi's doing its job, but on the way back out so far, we're getting right at 12 miles to a gallon. So the narrower being tucked more in behind the Gladiator has helped us pick up a mile to a gallon. So, and the thing about that is over the course of a trip from east to west and back, you're looking at a 6,000 mile trip. Those that mile per gallon adds up.
It does. So we're going to open it up to the audience. If you have any more questions for our guests, please drop them in the comments. But my last question is there another model in the works? I know we just rolled out the Appalachian, but I need to know
told
the
me
inside.
no.
No.
He said no.
Deb's already had 2 more models she tried to get started.
Yeah, and he was like, no, nothing for 2 years. I was like, okay.
Aw,
So,
Steve, come
probably
on,
a year.
Yeah.
Steve's tired of Deb already. I could tell. No.
No,
He's
he's not tired of Deb.
okay.
He's watching this. He's like, oh.
He has no chance when it comes to Deb and Kim deciding they want to get something done.
Yeah.
He just at some point he just gives in.
It's just easier.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I see Deb and Kim as a dynamic duo for sure. They definitely mesh well together.
Yeah.
You guys
they're
don't
a
stand a
problem.
chance.
Yeah, they're a problem.
We
You're
get in
right.
trouble a lot.
So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So the OVS awning, the all black OVS awning that's on there,
Yep.
that is going to be an
The
option.
XD. The XD OVS is standard.
It is standard. Okay.
Option.
And then the walls are an extra, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then I think on the TetonX, you guys were running the Julka dual room bathroom setup, shower
That's
tent.
correct. Yeah,
Mhm.
we have the 23-0 single right now and the Julka double. There may be some more options coming in the future, but those are the ones that we're putting on right now.
That Julka
So-
double is nice.
It is
Yeah.
super nice.
Yeah.
I
Bougie.
really like that one.
So I seen on here a minute ago, we've got some Atlas owners and some folks that
Oh.
are going to be Atlas owners before long. Scott's ready for a toy hauler.
See,
Go big or
I
go
knew I
home.
had one
Go
out
big.
there.
So that's
Okay.
Ricky's brother.
What's up,
Yeah.
Scotty?
Yeah.
Oh, that was your brother. I should have known by the last name. Oh my.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
how many current Teton owners do we have in the comments? Go ahead and put like a waving hand if you're a TetonX or a Appalachian owner.
This one was correct.
There's
There's
David.
Dave.
Mhm.
David was at the camp out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm snooping through here. Snooping.
I seen Matt and Dawn on there earlier, so they're waiting on theirs.
Theirs is in process now.
Mhm.
Nice.
I saw
Very
Melissa
nice.
too. Melissa's with David.
Yeah. Seen.
Yeah.
Melissa's waving. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
We got another comment from Scott.
Oh. Kim's homemade meal should be standard on that. Okay, what kind of meal are we talking? Because I'm about the snacks and stuff. I can
Oh,
be
she
sold
makes
real
some good
quick.
stuff.
She makes everything.
Doesn't
Darla,
matter.
It doesn't
You
matter
have
what she
no
makes.
idea.
It's good.
Right.
Brownies and cookies.
Any meal. It's the
She
best
makes
one you
homemade
have.
bread. Like just
She
out
makes
of thin
she
air.
makes her
Out of
own
nowhere.
hamburger buns.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. The best hamburger
Yes,
buns
her own
ever.
hamburger buns.
I ain't got time for that.
Try to stop eating them. You can't.
You
Well,
can't
no,
really
it's good carbs. I'm all about that.
Pulled pork. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's just
Yeah.
Sin maple butter.
mm,
Good call.
Teddy.
Yes,
Yeah.
Teddy.
Yeah, we had some of that the other day, Teddy. I
I
started to
never
bring
did.
some, but the jar was empty.
I have another one.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I'll share it with Teddy.
Okay.
Kind of like the brownie tin. It was empty, or the cookie tin.
Yeah.
oh, with
Yeah.
the Save Expo. Mm-hmm. Wonder how that happened, Arla.
I don't know.
I
It
mean,
kept coming out, and I couldn't control myself.
Aspen did try to guard it.
He did.
I will fight a dog for those. Maybe that's why you're so cranky with me.
Maybe.
Ricky, you and I spoke before the show, and you said you would have a special
Oh, that's another
offer.
owner.
What's that?
Sorry, that was another owner.
Yep.
Oh,
Mike.
And he
yeah,
said
there
you
now
go.
it's 7-6. Leia's ahead.
Yeah, and he
Nice
helped us out with the
play.
boat. Thanks, Mike.
So
Dang it,
I think
Mike.
as far as our viewers are, it's Appalachian. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may be
Yeah.
outnumbered.
Awesome.
You put up a good fight, though. You put up a good fight.
Thanks,
Oh.
B.
Hmm.
Hey,
Sorry,
I've been trading
Missy, I didn't mean to
AMW signs away. At some point, I got to get those. So we were when we picked up the America's Most Wanted, the 392. They gave us some of the big crates that the engine comes in, and I didn't have anywhere to put them. So Teddy and JoJo had taken us up there to pick the trailer up, and those ended up in his truck, and now they're in his garage. I sure hope that he's not trying to sell those.
I think he has a whole bunch of stuff of ours in his
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Leia's up by 2. It's 8-6, people.
not
Oh,
good.
snap.
Not good. Not selling it. Not
It's
selling
like
it.
Arkansas
Yeah.
Oh,
inside
Oh,
of
God,
Arkansas.
you're not
brother-
Oh,
the
yes.
Brother State family.
Scott's not helping.
Are
Didn't
any
Scott
of these
vote
people
already?
in the
I feel like
Appalachian?
he's on it again.
Yeah.
He did it once before. Let's see. Are you trying to cheat the system?
He would,
You
too.
are. I see you.
Wait a
No, you
minute.
don't count.
You got to
No.
watch that guy.
Should take
Yeah.
away your other one because you
Twice.
cheated.
I think he did.
I appreciate the effort, though.
Yeah.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky. All right. So Ricky,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
that's
Before.
okay. We talked before the show, and you said that you guys would offer for our viewers if they tell you that Lady Overlander Radio or LOR sent you to get a trailer, what will you offer them if they build out the trailer and get the trailer?
So we'll add the Cruise Master hitch lock. It's a little perk on the trailer that some people miss, and when people don't add it, I'm always like, huh, because it's like it's a very simple item. It's just a little pin, and Bill has showed it. He showed it quickly on his channel a week or two ago, and we had people asking about it because it's just a little pin that drops into the hitch on the trailer. And it's this little, it's a little pin, but it's a big insurance policy because it deters people from stealing your trailer. So yeah, we're going to throw that in for free if they're coming in from your channel.
Very nice.
We got a question. Hold the phone.
Okay.
All right. So,
oh my.
Oh, wow.
This looks
a remote for the air ride on one of your trailers.
This looks like something Deb would ask for.
A remote control.
Deb, do you know Profit Biker?
I think Bill already
I asked for that one.
So Steve was working on that, wasn't he?
Yeah. We have put it on we had it on an earlier trailer, and one of the things we had, it wouldn't connect. And then the only way to operate it was I believe on that one, the only way was the remote. And so if the remote didn't connect, then it was, all right, let's figure out, you had to figure out why. So that was the only holdup that we had from just the manual. Like if you have the paddle switch, it's going to work. So that's the way we preferred it. But I do know that the customer that had that trailer really liked it because from driving, if they drove onto a trail, you could just lower the suspension or raise it up or whatever from your car, like while you're driving. So yeah, we could do it for sure.
I was on the Atlas.
You just want to be careful to just make sure that we did it right.
Oh yeah.
This time around.
The hitch lock is an absolute must. Great add-on. See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
It's free.
I was thinking while wheeling, it would be great to inflate or deflate one side or the other while wheeling on an Engram. That's a great point.
You're absolutely right. It would help a lot.
Yeah, because you've got out and have aired one side up.
Yeah, to get it away from a tree to go around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely beneficial to be able to do that from the vehicle if possible. For sure.
Yeah. Or if you're on an off-camber situation and you want to raise the lower side up to straighten it up a little bit. It would definitely be a big help, but it's a matter of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give you guys one more chance to talk about anything else you'd like to mention that we haven't mentioned. I'm going to start with you, Ricky. Is there anything else that we need to know about Atlas Outdoors or your trailer options that we don't already know?
The trailer options are always changing, it seems like. So thanks. You can thank Deb for that. So check back in a month and we'll probably have something new and super cool. So yeah, you can just keep an eye on our channels for that. But we don't, Deb's the only one that knows what's new coming down the pipe.
Oh, look here.
What? That one.
Finally figured out how to comment. TetonX owner here. Well, thanks for joining.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is it lay?
Is it lay or latch? Tell us.
Appalachian or Appalachian?
Yeah.
It's Appalachian. I know it is.
All right, Bill, your turn. Anything that you want to mention about the TetonX or the AppalachianX that we haven't mentioned?
You're not going to find a better trailer from constructability all the way through how it's laid out. You're going to be able to stand up in it and take it anywhere that you want to take it. For the base price, it's ready to go. But, we've got several different options that you've already heard of. A lot of those are already on the website, and the website is improving as we go. We actually have a new website coming out. Hopefully pretty soon it's going to have even more usability to it. But according to Deb, if you can dream it, Steve can build it. So
that's the quote of the day.
Yeah.
You can dream it, Steve can build it.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys, all of you, so much for being on the show tonight. We really enjoyed the chat. And remember, let them know that Lady Overlander Radio sent you, and go get your trailer. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bam.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.